Why is this decision coming now when the event happened back in March and the UK government reacted much more quickly? There was obviously a time delay, a lag here for the U.S. to respond, but why now?
Well, I think, part of this is that it's the result of a statutory obligation that the United States government has. So under U.S. law, once the U.S. had basically accused Russia of responsibility in this attack, it had 2 months to basically make the formal designation, and then under which sanctions would then go into effect. So it took a little bit longer than anticipated. The deadline sort of came and went. There was no response from the administration, but then finally now they have announced that under the 1991 Chemical and Biological Weapons Control and Warfare Elimination Act, they are imposing these sanctions. So, I mean, you did see earlier the U.S. expelled 60 or so Russian diplomats as part of the response. So the government has responded fairly forcefully, and this is a follow-on to that.
Do we know what these new sanctions will entail?
I think, as far as we know, under the law, there are a couple of sort of elements that the sanctions will have. One is a first round that limits exports and financing, but that's not expected to really have much impact. The bigger impact will come later when there's sort of a second tranche of sanctions that would ban some licenses to export sensitive national security goods to Russia, and once that happens, that could really put the pinch on Russia, and you could see many millions of dollars affected by those sanctions coming later on.
Yeah, and of course, if you look at the Russian ruble as well, it is weakening as we speak, off almost 3% versus the U.S. dollar. It was already weak earlier because of a Russian paper printing the text of a potential bill against Russia for election meddling. But there you have another leg lower for the ruble.